Hello. What does Executive Order 14067, Queen Elizabeth, Pope Francis, and the war in Ukraine have to do with each other? Stay tuned.
Welcome back, or welcome us back, I guess I should say. So,
we've been gone.
We have been gone for a really long time, and we want to kind of explain that to you guys, and then go through some things that we're going to be making future videos on.
Yeah, for the next several weeks, we're going to try to make several videos for most everything that's going on in the world right now and how it all ties together and why.
But first, we're going to tell you why we've been gone for so long. We've been gone about a year. And there has been maybe a little longer, actually, if we're going to be quite honest about it.
This time last year we made our last video.
Yeah. And it was right when I started wearing head wraps, I think is the last time that we made a video. When I started wearing the head wraps on like an official daily basis.
Okay.
And
the timeline of the head wrap.
Yeah. So to start off with, there was there are several different reasons, and so we'll try to make it brief. This video is going to be really, really brief. We're going to touch on a few things.
As we can make it.
You know us, we are long-winded. We talk about a lot of different things. We feel certain things are important to get in there, and so that ends up making our videos longer than what they probably should be.
But we're going to try to cap these off this time. We're going to do probably 30-minute videos, maybe 45 at the most.
Yeah.
And each week we're going to try to do a video on a topic, and we're going to tie it all together at the end.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
I think if you watch them in a row, you're going to be able to see that all this stuff is connected and that we are indeed in a time of trouble.
Absolutely. So why have we been gone?
Health reasons. I think we should cover that first. Jim was sick.
I was very sick.
Unknown problem.
So to kick it off, we found out we were pregnant last year, which was super exciting. We were trying for a fifth kid, and it was very devastating, and we lost the baby. We did name it. We didn't know what the sex was, but we decided to name it a masculine name. So his name's Fisher, and so saying goodbye to that was really hard. And then pretty much right before that, I had started getting a little bit sick, but that just kind of exacerbated the problem, I would say. Yes. Crazy. It was terrible. I lost almost 40 pounds in 2.5-3 months. I couldn't eat. I was super sick. I underwent several exploratory type procedures. I went under several different medications, several different
It was like a testing phase. It was like a testing for the doctors.
I literally felt like a lab rat. They're like, we don't know what's wrong with you, so let's do all the things to you.
Sure.
All the things. So I had an endoscopy, I had a colonoscopy, I had x-rays, I had ultrasounds, I had lab after lab after lab. I was probably getting, stuck with needles 3 times a week or so.
That's what it felt like, and she lost a lot of weight.
I did. I lost, like I said,
really
30, 40 pounds in 2.5-3 months. And I just finally got tired. I was like, you know what? I don't think they're ever going to find a cure, and I just need to pray about it.
Yeah.
And not that I wasn't praying already, but it just kind of got to the point where
we were at a low point.
Low point.
Lost the baby. It was not easy.
I literally would. I felt like, why am I here? Like, either kill me or make me better. And that, because I was that sick, and the fact that they couldn't figure anything out was wrong with me was very upsetting. Like, at least if I had a diagnosis, I would know what was wrong, and there would be options. As do I want to do medications, or do I want to do the natural route or whatever. I try to do mostly natural, but it was very hard. And then I just started praying every night, and I just thanked God ahead of time for healing. I was like, I don't know, regardless of whether you do actually kill me or, let me die or whatever, however you want to look at that, or if you heal me on earth and I get to stay here and I feel better, either way, thank you for healing me, regardless. Sure. And so I started getting better. I'm still not 100%, but I am so much better than I was. I've even gained some weight back. I've gained about 8 to 10 pounds.
Probably really about the past 9-10 months you've had a lot better run.
No.
Since first of the year. Since our group has been together.
Yes. I guess it's been a little bit better since then, but especially the last 4 or 5 months. I think the last 4 or 5 months, I personally, maybe he's seen a difference on the outside as far as how I'm acting or what I'm doing or my behaviors or what I'm eating or things like that. But for me personally, as far as feeling better on the inside, it's been about the last 4 or 5 months, because I'm kind of like a fake it till you make it person. So maybe he saw me as feeling better for the last 9 or 10 months.
You were sick every day for about the past 9 or 10 months, and that before that was every day.
That's true. It was every day until the last 9 or 10 months, and then it was once a couple of times a week, and then it went to,
And if you're wondering, it was like stomach problems that were
hence the endoscopy painful. And the colonoscopy. Crazy
painful and constant pain
and not being able to eat anything. I couldn't keep anything down. I couldn't hold anything inside. It was terrible. So that's the first portion. We're already at 6 minutes, so I'm going to hurry up. Sorry. And then we found out we were pregnant again. Around the same time this year. So it was March, April last year, and it was March, April this year. And we had a second miscarriage. I was not able to keep that one either. And at that point, I became a high-risk person, and we decided not to necessarily try for any more. Not that we were trying for that one, but we weren't really preventing anything either. And we're still not preventing, but we're definitely not in the let's make one right now, and then we had loss in the family as well. We had a family member who also had a death of a child, 2 actually, from their womb as well. So that was pretty devastating, and
sure.
And we spent a lot of time in prayer on that. We also took time off for studying.
Yep.
Do you want to go over that a little bit, since I've been talking for 3 minutes?
No, go ahead, continue.
Oh, okay. So we decided to take some more time off for studying because, of course, after the hardship of what we experienced, I personally felt like I needed to just take a breather from everything and just kind of get myself right. And I'm still not 100% right. We kind of talked about that today. Still a little shaken, but doing a lot better, I feel like, for me. And then also we were trying to focus on our church in our house, God's church in our house, because the pastors here, we have spoken to them, and
we went over a few of those videos y'all seen. If you've watched any of them, there's several we've talked about that exact thing. We decided, I guess, about 9 months ago, about when you started feeling a little bit better, really, 9-10 months ago, that we were going to invite some family members and friends to our house for a weekly Sabbath church gathering, I guess you can call it. Mm-hmm. And we've carried that out now since the beginning of this year. And we've pretty much focused on that. We've ran through a lot of topics with them, the commandments, the things that we've made videos on, and some of the end time stuff that we're going to cover in this next several weeks of videos, and also the gospel, that some of these people were ahead of others and some were behind, and we've just tried to cover all the feasts, all the statutes of God. We had a good Passover with this group. We had a
good study leading to the Passover.
Yeah, we had a good study leading to the Passover. We started with that pretty much, really. We ended up having a good Feast of Trumpets just the other day, and we're looking forward to the Feast of Tabernacles here in the next week. So
absolutely, and it's been awesome in ways, And it's been hard in ways.
has.
We're not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's all been fun and games and everything went smoothly and there were no questions or confusion or, I don't want to say arguments because that's not the right word at all.
It's
but
more
it's
or
just
less just everybody being on different stages.
and getting everyone on the same page. And we're still doing that to a certain extent, but they're a lot closer. We are a lot closer to being on the same page. And I'm really proud of our group and how much they have committed
They've came a long way.
and how much they have put into it. We all have shortcomings and we all are constantly working on those. And so it's nice to have people that will hold us accountable as well as us holding them accountable.
Yep.
So that's nice.
It's a good, strong group. We just got to continue on and keep pushing.
Absolutely. And so why did we choose today to come back?
We're running out of time, and Jen and I are we're pretty sure that we're creeping up on the final 3.5 years.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't seem that way, but maybe it does if you actually listen to what we're saying and what we show you. We're going to try to use factual things as we move into each topic.
As well as biblical.
As mostly biblical, but we're going to try to use factual things that are happening in the world that correlate with the biblical prophecies.
And I wasn't saying as well as biblical as if the Bible isn't fact. I'm just saying that we can use today's stuff to prove the Bible, particularly for those who
use the Bible to prove
don't
today's
believe.
stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. Particularly for those who have a hard time seeing things, and kind of just go through that.
So it's very possible we'll go ahead and drop a date that we're November the 24th, about the next presidential election, about the 5th. November the 5th. November the 5th, 2024 should be,
give or take a
day or two, should be the 3.5 year.
If we are where we think we are.
I think we are.
I think we are too, personally. However, we always want to say we are not prophets. God did not come down and be like, tell them this day because this day is the day that I'm telling. No, it's not like that. He said we would know the signs. We would know the times by the signs that are given.
Right.
And given the signs, this is what it looks like. So that's not for us to cop out if we're wrong or anything.
No.
That's literally just, we think this is what's going on. We could be wrong. We don't think we are. But admitting that there is because even the apostles thought that they were in the end because of Nero.
Right. And we've talked about that with our group.
And that's 2,000 years ago. So we very well could be mistaken in just seeing these and interpreting these. However, there's too many things, I believe, at this point that are coincidental, and there's only so much coincidence until it's not coincidence anymore. And I personally don't believe in coincidence at all.
Right.
But even to the average secular person, there's only so much coincidence until it's a fact.
That's right. Yeah, and the things that I think I brought up initially was Executive Order 14067. It's a U.S. crypto bill. We're going to cover that one in detail. The presidential election of 2024 we already talked about. Queen Elizabeth's death and King Charles, her replacement. How that ties in,
and why.
How that ties into Pope Francis, even, and the war with Russia and Ukraine, which is growing daily. I think we all see that.
Ethiopia,
not exactly
Iran,
what the
China.
not exactly what the TV's telling us, but I think we all can see that things are getting squirrely over there. The food crisis, the famine, all the warnings from the world.
From the UN even, they're admitting food crisis at this time.
All these food centers, we're going to talk about that. Unusual weather patterns, or are they? We're going to talk about total distractions from the world that are distracting all of the elect, and you can't allow it. It's stuff like Will Smith and Kid Rock. It's stuff
not
like
Kid Rock, Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, sorry, not
Slap.
Kid Rock. Yeah, not the rock star
The rock
guy.
star. In case you're wondering what we're looking down at, there's like a pad so we can stay focused because we normally go AWOL. So we have a pad so we can stay focused.
Right.
Keep going.
We don't want to run off into left field.
I want to let them know what we were looking at.
But they're constantly putting distractions in front of us, and we're going to try to show how and why they're doing that. and possibly get maybe somebody closer to God before this little 3 or 4 week video.
That is the goal.
That's the goal. We're
the goal is to catch y'all up to speed, at least the main stuff. You're going to have to do some of your own research.
Please do. Yeah.
You're going to have to do some of your own
Drop
research.
some comments. Hey, that's not exactly what this says. That's not exactly what this means. If we're wrong about something, please
let us know.
Set us
and
straight.
We'll correct it.
We're humble. We'll humble ourselves immediately.
Or if there's something that we've shown you, we would also love to hear that side. Like, oh, I didn't even know that was going on. And we would love to have some encouragement as well. Not just you're wrong, but also...
Amen.
Good job. Questions, comments, anything that we can try to research, because we don't have all the answers, obviously, we're human, but if we can research and find the answer for you, we will try our hardest to do that. And I think we've said that in other videos, almost every video, but I wanted to reiterate that since we're back in action, that we will try and research.
We're back behind the camera. I don't know if we're back in action per se, but we have tried.
We're close enough.
We've tried to do a lot of studying of the Bible more than anything, and we are just paying attention. We're watching. We're watching,
and we've been
watching.
watching. We've never quit watching, and that's something I hope y'all haven't done either, just because we weren't around. But I hope that you've been watching what's going on and trying to see through, because they put like a veil in front of things, and they're like, okay, so this is what's going on, but we're going to put this pretty veil over it, so you can't necessarily see what's going on. You see it, but it's not clear to you.
Dirty pair of safety glasses,
and so we're trying to see not just the veil and what they're telling the public, as you said, distractions, but we're trying to peel the veil back and see what's behind that. And I hope you guys have been doing that as well, because it's very important. It's very important that you do that. I want to, before we get out of here, because we are going to do a couple of videos, we're going to focus on 2 things tonight, I think, to talk about briefly. Or do you want to do just a little teeny brief thing on each thing? Yeah,
we're going to brief each one of them. We're going to start with CERN.
Okay, but before we get into that, can I say I'm going to name drop the AOC network.
Okay.
He just put out a really good docu-movie, I want to call it. It's like a documentary, but a movie. And it's not, he says, I don't know, what do you think about it? So it's kind of like, it kind of blows your mind. And I just wanted to name drop him. We watch a lot of his stuff.
As long as it's not against the rules, we will put a link to the video in the description
comments
below.
Yeah, in the comments below. Or the description.
Yeah.
Or both. Because I don't know how to put it in the description. But
I'll take care of that.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No, so we can start with CERN. CERN started back up this past summer. The summer we're in now, I guess. We're just now hit fall, but just recently CERN started back up. They were rebuilding in certain things about the
hydrogen
collider.
Hydraulic collider? I don't know. Hydro something collider.
Whatever it is.
I'm not a scientist.
They were revamping some things. They were doing whatever they were doing to it. Making it bigger, making it better. We're going to talk about that. We're going to go into some details of that and why they would have stopped in the first place, why they started back up, when they're going to start or stop again. And also we're going to look at some other countries that are trying to duplicate or make something similar to what CERN is. And we're going to talk about that and why they're doing that. Mm-hmm. And some of this is factual and some of it's straight out of our brains and could be...
Some of it's our opinion on what's going on.
As far as CERN, yes. We're going to try to tie that together with some common sense, and then we're also going to look at some different ways that, well, let's just say that there's some crazy crap going on over there. But Executive Order 14067, something Jen brought up recently to me, today, actually, or yesterday. And it's about the U.S. and the cryptocurrency. These things that we're going to be bringing up about this particular item is going to show the direction that the world has been going for 30 years, really, or I guess longer. But it's been slowly heading in the direction of a one world currency, a one world religion, a one world setup for everything. And I think Jen probably has some more details about that.
Well, it's particularly with this in the 90s because, we were born in the 80s and grew up in the 90s and the early thousands, and so we were around, for checks, obviously, and cash.
Sure.
Around for cashier's checks, and we were some of the first ones to get and or see debit cards.
Yep.
And we're obviously also some of the first generations to see, and our parents who are still around, but to see the little chip inserted into the
Sure.
cards,
cell phones,
and the Wi-Fi
Yeah.
thing, and like in Sam's they have that blue light. You can scan stuff in the store on the Sam's app, and you go through that blue light, and it charges your card for the stuff
Yeah.
that you scan. It's real weird. It's like the mark of the beast, and
Well, and
Amazon with the hand wave.
it could be very usable to that one world government. It could be very convenient for the last set of people that are here.
Yeah.
We understand the convenience and how easy people will be persuaded to, hey, you don't really need that dollar bill anymore. Come use this. This is way easier. And next week it's going to be forced anyway, so you may as well get used to it. That's kind of where it's heading.
And so the executive order, you could look it up. Go to Google, look up Executive Order 14067, and read through it. And this came out in March, and it said that a certain type of reports, there are 3 or 4 different reports, but the data is to be collected and given to the president within 180 days. That is this month. We're still in September for another day or two.
It's October.
Oh, it is October.
Today.
Today was October.
1st.
Okay, so last month. But at some point last month, these datas were to be collected and given to the president.
That's
last
right.
month. And basically, they collected data on how can we encourage people to use cryptocurrency, because we're falling behind and we need to remain the world's leaders in money.
Yeah.
Essentially, and
Currency.
the world is starting to change to cryptocurrency. So the U.S. is like, oh, we got to get on it. We got to get in there and be the world power.
Yeah.
But the fact is, we're not going to be the world power for the final kingdom. We're just not. There's going to be several different powers that are going to make the beast system.
That's a fact.
So we'll have to fall out of it, as we can still be one of the top leaders, but we're not going to be the leader for much longer, I think.
Yeah, I would think so too. I think USA is definitely going to have to fall in some way. I don't know how that's going to work out, but okay. And then we're going to talk about the presidential election in 2024, how that ties into everything. That'll probably be
That's a fun one.
That'll probably go into the same week as the leaders of the world, like the Pope Francis, Queen Elizabeth, and the presidential election. We'll probably put that all in one video and just
maybe also the eclipses.
Yeah,
since it's right
maybe.
around that time too.
Yeah, maybe. But we'll try to run through those and keep those in the same bucket or same boat and see how they tie to the Executive Order 14067 and of course CERN.
And Agenda
We're going to
2030.
tie each one to the other so you can see
The connections.
that it's all connected and it's follow the money, and then you're going to see in the end here that hopefully by week 4, week 5, we've made our point, and maybe possibly people will start opening their eyes and get their head out of the sand. I mean, that would be my goal, is to someone to comment back and say, I didn't know any of this. I believe some of this. I'm going to do my own research. Great, do it. Find some stuff that we're not even talking about. That'd be wonderful.
Tie it in for yourself.
Tie it together some more and bring it back to us.
And it's
Make your own video.
We've only listed just big bulletins. There's tons of tiny things
Little
also that
things
are going on,
everywhere, yeah.
like India running out of water, India not giving grain supply to the world, even though the hunger thing, and because they have to keep it for their own people. China telling their people to store up a year's worth of food. I mean, there's tons of tiny things that
That's
we're
right.
not even gonna go over.
Well,
Maybe we'll do that in a follow-up
We're going to
video.
do a food crisis video week,
Sure.
and we'll tie all that in there as much as we can
guess
possibly
we can
get
go there.
fit. We'll fit as much as we can as far as the world famine, because I mean the famine kind of has been going on for a long time, but at the same time, how many more people were in a famine state pretty much whenever the COVID stuff started coming into play and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
there's several food centers that have been destroyed in the past year, and now up until just recent, another huge one. We're going to cover that. We'll probably do that in the same week as the famine and the food crisis. the unusual weather patterns. We'll probably look at a lot of the drought and
that ties back into the Pope.
It does. It's all together. It's all together.
It all goes.
It's real strange actually, this whole climate change thing. But we're gonna show you that it's not exactly what they show that it to be.
It's not.
But at the same time, it's something that's used as that veil Jim was talking about over your face. It's kind of like, oh, the whole world's going.
They're trying to prettify it.
They're trying to make it as if you don't save the planet, you're a terrible person.
Or like they're doing that, but then at the same time they're also like fear mongering. They're like, there's a famine coming. Take all the food, and you need to store food, but you don't need to be scared because God will provide for you. He says He provides for the birds, so He's going to provide for you.
That's right.
And even if He doesn't, that means He chose for you to stop at that time. And I know that kind of is a sucky thing. Well, He said He'd provide for me. Why is He letting me starve? Well, because that was your witness maybe to somebody that you would rather starve than take the mark of the beast. There's a point and a purpose to everything. It gives other people courage to endure whatever they're having to do.
That's right.
For if and when that time, well, I don't want to say if, but when that time comes.
Yeah, and 9 out of 10 Western news networks are pounding us with climate change, but at the same time, there's a busted pipeline coming out of Russia that's feeding Europe gas.
I was wondering if you're going to
bring that up. And we're literally offering another route right next to it with another pile of gas that's against climate change. It's coming out of another spot, which is just, to me, just kind of crazy. But we'll get into that.
And that goes with the war in Ukraine.
It's all
with
tied
Russia,
together.
The pipe that just burst. I was wondering if you were going to talk about that. And we should also bring up the 2016 tunnel dedication in Switzerland. That also has to do with it. And again, if you watch the AOC network, we are in almost 100% agreement on that. There's some things that we're going to have to think about that. We never thought about it from that perspective. But he definitely brings up a lot of things that we've already been talking about.
He did, yeah. And I think he spent the majority of the summer struggling to get that video out, and he had a lot of stuff happen to him as well in his personal walk, and I think family members, maybe he didn't
being attacked.
Details, but yeah, he was being attacked.
And I feel like we were being attacked.
We definitely were. And losing a baby, wasn't time to have a baby maybe, but at the same time it was losing a couple babies, but it wasn't time for us to continue on our journey without that devastating moment plus Jen's sickness that we had to deal with, and it was all bad, but we've made it through it. We're
stronger.
We've endured to the end of that, we hope, and now we're stronger for it. So I think that's about all I got. So we'll probably make the first video tomorrow. We'll probably have it uploaded about 24 hours after this one.
Yeah, and I want to do homework. Look up Russia, Ethiopia, Iran, and China. How do they connect? The answer might surprise you.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. See you soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe and click the notification bell so you can get new videos whenever we have put them out. Our email address for questions, comments, concerns, you want to tell us some stuff maybe we haven't covered or you don't know that we've seen, please be sure to email us at the email provided below in the description box.
Prayer requests as well.
Oh, prayer requests too. Bye guys.
Goodbye.